It was a bright, bustling afternoon. The market was a symphony of sounds, people chatting, vendors calling out, and the colorful chaos of shops shining under the sun. Little Arav walked hand in hand with his mother, her grip a warm and familiar anchor. "Don't let go of my hand, sweetheart," his mother said softly, her voice a gentle melody amidst the noise. "This market is very, very crowded." Arav nodded, his eyes wide with all the sights and sounds. But then, something caught his eye. A big, brilliant toy shop. It was a wonderland of bright lights and colorful toys, each one calling out to him. For just a single, fleeting second, Arav turned to get a better look. And in that 1 second, his mother's hand was gone. Arav's heart started to thump like a drum, loud and fast. "Mom," he called out, his small voice swallowed by the crowd. He spun around, but all he could see was a forest of legs and a sea of unfamiliar faces. None of them belonged to his mother. Panic began to prickle at the back of his eyes, and soon, big, salty tears welled up and spilled down his cheeks. "I'm lost," he whispered to himself, the words tasting like fear. The world, which had seemed so exciting just a moment ago, now felt huge and scary. Every shadow seemed to hold a monster, and every stranger's face looked stern. He was all alone. But then, through the fog of his fear, Arav took a shaky, deep breath. He squeezed his eyes shut and tried to remember. His mother's voice, calm and steady, echoed in his mind. She had told him, just a few days ago, what to do if he ever got lost. Rule number 1, don't run around in a panic. Running would only take him further away. Rule number 2, don't go with strangers, no matter how nice they seem. And rule number 3, find a safe place and stay there. A safe place could be a shop with a friendly-looking person inside, or near a security guard or a police officer. Arav opened his eyes. He wiped away his tears with the back of his hand. He wasn't just a lost little boy, he was a boy with a plan. He looked around and saw a large, well-lit clothing shop right beside him. It looked safe. He walked over and stood near the entrance, where he could see everything but was also visible. He decided he would wait right there. Just as he was starting to feel a little bit calmer, a man approached him. "Are you lost, little one?" the man asked. "Come with me. I'll help you find your mommy." Arav's heart did a little jump, but he remembered the rule. He took a small step back. "No, thank you," he said, his voice a little shaky but firm. "My mom told me to wait here." The man shrugged and walked away. A few minutes later, a kind-looking lady came by, holding a bag of colorful sweets. "You look sad," she said with a smile. "Would you like a candy?" Arav's tummy rumbled, but he shook his head. "No, thank you. I don't take things from people I don't know." He felt a tiny bit proud of himself. He was being brave. Then, across the bustling path, Arav saw him. A police uncle, standing tall in his neat uniform, helping direct the traffic. This was it. This was the right kind of help. Taking another deep breath for courage, Arav carefully looked both ways and walked slowly and purposefully towards the police officer. He tugged gently on the officer's sleeve. "Uncle," Arav said, his voice still small but clear, "I think I'm lost. I can't find my mother." The police officer looked down, and his serious face immediately softened into a kind and reassuring smile. "Well, hello there, young man. You did the absolute right thing by coming to me," he said warmly. "Don't you worry, we'll find your mom." He led Arav to a nearby police help desk, gave him a chair to sit on, and a glass of water. Then he picked up a microphone, and a calm, clear voice echoed through the market's announcement system. At that very same moment, on the other side of the market, Arav's mother was in a state of pure panic. The world had turned into a blurry nightmare the second she realized his hand was no longer in hers. Her heart felt like it had been ripped from her chest. "Arav!" she screamed, her voice cracking with terror. "Arav! Where are you?" She ran frantically through the crowded lanes, her hands shaking, pushing past people, her eyes darting everywhere. Tears streamed down her face, blurring her vision. "I should have held his hand tighter," she whispered to herself, a wave of guilt washing over her. "Oh, my baby, where are you?" She desperately showed Araz's picture on her phone to shopkeepers, to passersby, to anyone who would listen. Her hope was fading with every passing second, and then she heard it, an announcement. A child named Arav, wearing a blue t-shirt, is safe and waiting at the main police desk near the front gate. Relief washed over her so powerfully it almost buckled her knees. Her heart, which had been frozen in fear, started beating again. She ran. She ran faster than she had ever run before, weaving through the crowd, her whole being focused on one single point, the police desk. And then she saw him, sitting on a small chair, looking so small and so brave. Arav saw her at the same time. "Mom!" he shouted, jumping off the chair. She swept him up into her arms, hugging him so tightly she thought she might never let go. They didn't say a word. They didn't need to. They just held each other, their hearts speaking a language of pure love and relief. The tears of fear and panic slowly turned into tears of overwhelming joy. He was safe! Her boy was safe! On the walk home, the world seemed quiet and calm again. His hand was back in hers, and this time, she held it like it was the most precious treasure in the world. She looked down at him, her eyes still shimmering with tears. "I was so scared, Arav," she said softly, her voice thick with emotion. Arav looked up at her, his big eyes serious. "I was scared too, Mom," he replied. "But then I remembered what you taught me. I stayed put, and I didn't talk to strangers." A watery smile broke through his mother's tears. She squeezed his hand. "You were so brave," she whispered, her heart swelling with pride and love. "My brave little boy." That day, they both learned something. Arav learned that even when he felt scared and alone, he was strong enough to keep himself safe. And his mother learned that the greatest lessons she could teach him were not just about letters and numbers, but about courage, wisdom, and the unbreakable bond that would always lead them back to each other. Thank you so much for watching. We hope this story helps you and your little ones talk about staying safe. Remember to subscribe for more stories that matter. Stay safe and take care.